Hey, what's going on? You're tapped in. It's another 180 Creator interview. I'm your host, Joe Teel, and I got another great guest, Lane Bricker. What's going on?
What's going on, y'all?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to get you on. I've been watching all your social medias. Seem like you're doing a lot, and you're just crazy active, which is always a good sign.
I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to get myself out there, trying to book as many shows as I can, trying to get my name out there, trying to get as many people exposed to my music as I can.
Right, and you come from a family of musicians, right?
I do. Yeah, my dad played music my entire life. He toured with old country music singers. Gene Watson is one of them. He toured for a long time. For those of you that like old country music, you might know who I'm talking about. And he played with Willie Nelson when he was in college, a show or two. Been on the Grand Ole Opry like 25 times.
Wow.
I was fortunate enough when I was in college to be able to go out there with him. Was in the dressing room with him and his band, and Tracy Lawrence walks in the back door, got to shake his hand and stuff. So that was really cool. Get to meet some other guys. What's his name? You Can Buy Me a Boat guy.
You Can Buy Me a Boat. Brad Paisley.
No,
wait, I thought he was. Damn, I missed that one.
But anyway, Chris Jansen.
Is that who sings "Buy Me a Boat"?
Yeah, buy me a truck, pull it. Yeah, he walked right by us. Didn't get to say anything to him, but he walked right by us. So that was pretty cool. But so I was around it my whole life. Kind of how I got into it. There was I don't know if you remember the Oaklawn Opry in off of 7th Street in town. It's a church now, but you probably wouldn't have gone. It was a bunch of old folks went, and it used to be old movie theater, and they turned it into like a country music theater. And I would spend time with my grandparents on the weekends because my mom was working and my dad was usually playing music somewhere. And so my grandpa took tickets at this country music theater in town, and so I would hang out with him and watch the show just by myself or with my brother. Growing up, and so that's how I kind of loved good old country music.
Yeah, and that's your grandpa's one with with the studio, or is that with your dad?
That was my dad.
Your dad. Okay, that's Chip Bricker, right?
Yes, sir.
Chip Bricker.
Yes, sir.
The studio that he don't have that no more, does he, or does?
Well, so he had a studio out in Nash, and he sold the building a year or two ago, and we moved it to my house,
or cool.
my parents' house, and we scaled down a good bit. And
is that where you do your music?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When I can. Yeah. When I can.
Right. I recorded music there before.
Really?
Yeah. I was gonna try to work there for a little bit. You know, I do music too.
Yeah.
But I kind of got burnt out on it. But
sure. Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah, for sure. How do you ever got burnt out?
Man, I don't know if I so much got burnt out, more like frustrated. I wrote a song about it too. We'll hope it might be on this live album we got coming out. But it was just, you get a lot of no's especially when you're first starting out.
Right.
You try to get as many contacts as you can, contact as many people as you can, different venues, different places, trying to kind of, you start out small and you start casting a wider and wider net as you go on. But you get a lot of no's and a lot of non-responses, and it gets pretty frustrating after a while because you work really hard at it and acquiring all these different connections, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Honestly, for anybody that's listening who's new to music, it's about making connections like that.
Would you say connections are more important than the music?
In some ways.
Yeah.
In some ways. I see a lot of people who have great connections who, not to talk bad about anybody, but
the connections are better than the music.
Connections are better than the music. And and vice versa. I know so many talented people who are way more talented than I am, and music wise, who haven't made any connections. And you're like, why aren't you out here playing these huge shows, or why aren't you playing bigger shows than you are?
Yeah.
Why haven't you made it out to Texarkana even? And some people just don't want to. I mean, that's fine.
Right.
Do you? Some people want to play local shows and just doing it for fun. Just do you.
I've met some crazy talented people here in the studio, but I could always tell, like, some of them I would be like, man, you're so talented. But in my head, I'd be like, there's just not the right not the right drive for it to actually do it, because
you got to be hungry.
It's not even really, like you're saying, it's not even really about the music all the way. It's about.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Because I know you really like country music. You're raised up in a family of country music. So how does it feel? Like, I guess that's the frustration you were talking about earlier, huh? That maybe that doesn't necessarily translate into like success.
Sure. Yeah. No, you have to get out there. You got to talk to people. And that was difficult for me at first. Like, I don't know, I was never naturally good at talking to folks. And even this is a new thing for me. And but you got to get out there. You got to talk to folks. You got to make connections. You got to, kiss babies, shake hands,
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. That's what I feel like. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And making the calls when you don't want to, when you feel uncomfortable making cold calls, like, and just don't be afraid to ask people for a favor, or don't be afraid to bug somebody. That was my biggest problem. A lot of times you got to stay on these venues, man. Like, you gotta. What took me a while to understand, you have all these people, everybody and their mama has a band, and you have all these people contacting these venues. And you ain't the only one. And there's some people who may be just as good as you contacting these folks. So you got to stay on them. You got to message them every other week, every week, whatever.
And what are you messaging them, like, to make sure stuff's still how it's supposed to be, or what?
Well, a lot of it's just to get my foot in the door, like.
To get like a spot on the show. Okay, yeah, I'm with you now.
And I'll just give them like a brief, like, hey, this is who I am. Here's my stuff. Look forward to hearing from you.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because I've been messaging people to come on the show, and it's like scary. Like, there's people. It shouldn't be scary, but it is. And sometimes people don't even respond to me. Nobody said no.
Sure, yeah. But I mean, that's kind of hurts a little bit. It stings a little bit when you don't get a response from. And you can't be afraid of rejection. You can't be afraid of feeling like you're bugging somebody. That was my biggest problem. Was like, I don't want to bug these people. I hate bugging folks. Like feeling like you're bothering people.
Yeah.
But you got to get over that.
Yeah, you got to just get out. Do you ever find it, because you're basically selling yourself, right?
Right.
In a sense. Do you find it tough to, put yourself out kind of like a product? Is that hard?
Yeah, because I feel like I don't know. It doesn't come naturally to me. I'm not a salesman by any means. I'm a little more to myself, if that makes sense. Like my buddy Chase Rains is a good example. I don't know if you've heard of him or talked to him.
Rains.
He's more of a local guy. He's out of Clarksville. And man, if you just listen to him talk, dude, he can sell water to a fish, man.
Yeah.
And he's real good at promoting himself and stuff like that. And I wish I was better at that. He's got a way of talking. And I'm never big on. I was never big on really like, this is what I can do kind of thing. I was kind of like, yeah, here I am. Here's my songs, and see ya. But that's something. It's kind of a necessary part of it.
So you've been changing kind of that about yourself.
You got to change that mentality for sure. And it's tough. It's tough to change old habits for sure.
Yeah, because it's like you said, there's a ton of bands. And then there's so many things going for people's attention now. You just like trying like, please pay attention to me just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's even the same with the podcast. Like, there's a trillion podcasts now.
Yeah, dude.
Like, why should somebody listen to me for an hour once or twice a week? There's
podcasts, people talking about nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I do it on my other show.
And people watch it all the time.
We talk about absolutely nothing a lot of times, and we just try to have fun. But like, these are more focused.
Sure.
But no, you're right. There's so what do you think about the state of country music right now?
I think it's in an interesting state right now, in the sense that you kind of see a division between indie. I'll group these folks together. Indie country, red dirt country, Texas country, and let's say like Appalachian type country, like your Sturgill Simpson, Tyler Childers type folks. I guess they could go under like alt country, I guess. In one box, I kind of think of them in one box. You can separate how you want. And then you have that Nashville country, it's maybe like your quote unquote bro country or your country pop or your
country is how I normally.
Well, yeah, whatever. And I think you're seeing kind of a rise of the more of the red dirt Texas alt country stuff, and I'm loving it. Honestly, you got guys like Tyler Childers. I mean, he's been crushing it for forever. But Zach Top's now on the scene. Guys like Braxton Keith is on the scene. Randall King, other dudes like that, and that's the kind of music that I kind of am kind of doing. And so, I think now is a time as ever for me to get my music out, and I think that country music's moving in a good direction right now in terms of getting things a little more back to where they used to be.
As far as like country,
yeah. As far as like being country,
yeah. If I turn on 102.5 right now, do you know the songs?
Barely. 103.9 would be my thing. The older country. Man.
Okay, yeah. See, that's all my dad listens to in the work trucks.
That's what I like to listen to. I mean, nothing against the, if you like newer Nashville country. I mean, nothing against that. Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine at lunch today. If you like what you like, cool, man. Do that. But in my opinion, if you're going to label something country, it needs to be country.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, all the genre bending stuff that's out there right now, like, Morgan Wallen, Moneybag Yo.
Sure.
That's a brand new song. How do you feel about stuff like that?
Man, you can be from the country and not sing country music.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah. I think
if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's an interesting combo, like Lil Durk and Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen seems to be the only one the only one, but a major one that can just like go get on a hip hop song.
But yeah, for sure. But well, I mean, you look at a lot of his music. A lot of his music has like those electronic drums and stuff in it. Yeah. It's kind of reaches over into that other genre. And man, if that brings more people over to country music, that's great.
He's bringing people for sure.
If he's bringing people, if he's crossing genres, bringing people over to country music, cool, man. I think that's great. I don't necessarily
but that's not what you're listening to.
Not a huge fan of his music personally. Right. That's just me. No. Nothing against anybody that likes his music.
Where are you at with like a Jelly Roll type character?
I think he's cool.
I say that because he's winning awards for country music.
Yeah, I think he's got a cool story. I like his music a little more than I like some others.
Yeah.
I don't have anything of his downloaded on my phone, but I don't mind him at all. Yeah. I think he's got a cool story for sure.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. And that's genre bending stuff because he has kind of like a rock angle to it too.
Yeah, no. Country music's become a all-encompassing. It's become a really broad term because you have all these subgenres, and now I could be wrong because I'm not super into a whole bunch of other genres. I listen to all sorts of stuff, but from what I've seen, I feel like country has a lot more subgenres than a lot of other music does, except maybe like rock music.
Yeah,
because you got your country pop, you've got your southern rock, you've got your alt country, your neo-traditional country, you've got your Appalachian, Texas, all these different types of cultures and stuff that come in and make country music what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a little melting pot of a bunch of different stuff.
What about like a Co Wetzel type? Because is that all the way country? I don't think
some stuff. I feel like you can put out stuff that's more country. I feel like he's definitely more southern rock or rock and roll type stuff.
Yeah,
which is cool. I think he does good stuff.
Yeah,
especially there's a new song he has out right now that's really good. I've been listening to a little bit.
I think is it brand new? I don't know if I've seen it. He's got somebody on it, doesn't he? Somebody famous.
I can't think of who it is, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I like Co Wetzel because he's different. I don't know. I guess I'm not really tapped in on.
He's a little more on that outlaw side, man. He kind of does whatever he wants.
But isn't that like? Isn't that kind of like Willie and Waylon and Yeah. If you think about it, who's more like them, like Co Wetzel or like Luke Bryan?
Yeah, definitely more Co Wetzel for sure.
Yeah, so.
For sure. Yeah. You got people that they're pushing the envelope for sure. I mean, you had it back then. You see it now. Like I even put Jelly Roll in that kind of outlaw type thing. Yeah, man. Like he kind of does whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, because I mean, Hank Williams Jr. wasn't.
Yeah, man, he wasn't politically correct by any means.
Yeah, not even remotely close to.
No, he had some country, he had some Southern rock stuff in there too, man.
Yeah.
But that kind of goes within the all-encompassing kind of genre that is country music. You'll see all types of different characters. Dude.
Right. Have you ever heard a song outside of country that inspired you to write a country song?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
What type of music where'd you listen to? It was like, I wonder if I could take something from that and make it.
Yeah. Well, my song Dallas, the first song I ever put out, one of the first songs I've written, I wrote it back in college, and it was based on a true story. And it was inspired, the tune of it was inspired by Crazy by Pat Green. So if y'all haven't heard that song, y'all go to check that song out. Great song. The tune of it was inspired by that. Another one of my original songs called Do You Ever Think About Texas? I haven't released it yet, but it'll be out on this live album that we're trying to release. But it was inspired by Amy's Back in Austin by Big Texas. The same band that does God Bless Texas.
Yeah.
That same band wrote Amy's Back in Austin. And that song was inspired by that. So yeah, dude, like you hear a song that makes you feel a type of way, and you want to write a song that makes you feel that type of way, or you want to write a song that makes other people feel like how that song made you feel.
Right.
And I think that's another like great thing about music is to me, like paintings and drawing and stuff is like visually makes you feel things visually, and music makes you feel things, sonically through your ears.
Right.
And it's another form of art in that way.
Do you think there's something spiritual about music?
Sure. I think so. I mean, it
because it doesn't necessarily have to be like an actual spiritual song to make you, I don't know, feel something in a way like you're describing, where it's like, I don't know anything else that could make me feel like that. You know?
Sure. I mean, and that even goes back to gospel music, man. I think I'm a spiritual guy. I'm a Christian, and I think that God, I think music's a gift from God personally. Like, He allowed you to be able to create these things and be creative and be able to sing as a way to, not only give back to God and praise Him, but also not necessarily selfishly, but for you to have joy as well, for you to be able to feel.
People.
Sure.
No, I think there's
bring people together.
Yeah, because music definitely brings people together and apart.
Yes, that's true. I mean, you can use it however you want to use it, man.
Yeah, music is subjective.
That's where that free will comes in.
Yeah, music's subjective, and
definitely. So it's a beautiful thing.
Man, so many. You can see the thousands and thousands of arguments on the internet about so and so is trash or so and so is this or who's better at this. Really, at the end of the day, all that. Like, I try to remember that every time I get engaged in some type of who's better type situation. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's a little different than like, okay, if we start comparing, like, okay, let's say who's better, Kyrie or Lillard?
Yeah,
we can go look at stats.
Sure.
And
LeBron Jordan.
Yeah, LeBron Jordan. But like, if you say which one of these songs is better, it just feels like more of like an opinion thing.
Yeah.
You could back it up with streams and stuff like that, but then there's more things that go into streams. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was the label back and then? Was there like a streaming farm behind?
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. And that goes back to connections, and also goes back to how a song makes you feel. Like,
right.
If a song makes you feel a certain way, and you love the way that song makes you feel, or you love the way that song sounds, or you love the way that song was written lyrically, it may not be the most popular song in the world, but if it makes you feel that way, then you're entitled to your opinion, right?
Right. Yeah, so it's like if somebody was like, no, that song sucks, so you could say, well, I feel something when I listen to it.
I feel something when I listen to that song. That song reminds me of this time in my life where I heard it and this thing was good was happening in my life or something like that, or makes me think of somebody. Or
music can bring back memories. Isn't that crazy? That's something. Like there's certain songs I hear that remind me of different, like even periods of my life. And I'm just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like a way I haven't felt since that time period just because of that song. So, it's crazy. What do you think? And this could, I don't want it to get away from me here, but on the wild stuff. But what do you have to talk about a little bit? What do you think about the impact of like AI and stuff being put into the music industry?
Man, AI scares me, dude. Just honestly,
I think it should.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it should. I think it should scare everybody, and hopefully we'll have some regulations and stuff on that if we don't already.
How would you feel before? My bad. I hate to cut you off, but the question just hit me in my head. How would you feel if somebody used your voice and made a song? How would that make you feel?
Oh, terrible. Especially without my consent or anything like that. Oh, that's terrible. That should be illegal. That's jail time. But
if somebody did that tomorrow, though. I'm not sure you could do anything though, right?
I don't know. I don't know the legality behind it.
I've been really into
AI. Seems to be like the kind of Wild West type thing, doesn't it?
Right now it is for sure. But you say terrible. That's like, I mean, that would be like,
dude.
I mean, your voice is like a part of you.
It is. You own. I mean, that's who you are. And well, I've also seen it be used for good though. Like you see, Randy Travis put out a new song.
That.
Yeah,
we talked about that. There was a guy in here that put me onto that.
Yeah, man. And I think that's great. I mean, he wrote the song. He wasn't able to sing it because his stroke. And I mean, it gave him his voice back. So it can be used for good. It's just, I mean, will people?
It's gonna be used for evil.
People use it for good, right? And
the answer is no.
It's got me concerned on these debates that are coming up too.
Oh yeah.
You know. I mean, I'm really surprised we haven't had more things come out with guys or like President Trump or Biden saying something that they didn't really say, and people.
You gotta think there's some grandma on the couch that's gonna believe whatever the hell they see on the TV.
Oh, you see all these folks believe stuff on Facebook all the time about these. You know,
it's rough.
They don't know no better. But God bless them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting time. I think what I was talking to a rap artist. I told him, I said, I think you're going to have to get some type of copyright for your voice. You know, you're copyrighting your lyrics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to copyright like your voice.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know. That's beyond me, man. I don't even know how you would even go about doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a thing yet.
They need to have some kind of regulations or something on it, dude. Because
they're working on it, but they can't slow down on it.
And technology. I mean, even what's out now, dude. There's no telling what's already out that hasn't even been put out yet. Yeah. What's it been invented that hadn't even been put out yet? And it's a lot of what ifs, you know.
Because you're gonna have to. I mean, you'll say, Chat GPT, write me a song. You can already do that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, people use it for college papers and everything.
Yeah.
And it comes to a point where, like, man, are we even learning stuff in college? Like,
I had a math teacher or a history teacher here, and I asked him. I said, if we have all the stuff at our fingertips, are we actually learning it, or are we just getting more and more used to the knowledge? Like
being dependent upon technology.
Yeah.
Or dependent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, it is scary, dude. Because I mean, I'm teaching right now as well. On the side of doing music, and dude, it just
and what class were you teaching? I'm trying to remember. You told me about before.
I was head middle school girls basketball coach, and 7th grade Texas history at Queen City, and I'm moving to Liberty Isle this year. Dropped the coach. Shout out to Liberty Isle.
Come on,
Liberty Isle graduate over here.
I love it.
And my mom was Liberty Isle graduate.
Cool.
And my uncle. So I dropped the coaching, trying to spend some more time on music.
Yeah. I
got my weekends free now. I don't have extra duties I have to do. Broke my heart leaving those kiddos over at Queen City. Shout out to Queen City too. But I mean, music's ultimately what I want to do.
Do you like history? Is that like a?
Oh yeah.
Like a big,
I went to college for history, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I went to college.
I like history a lot. And I had a history teacher on here also.
Right on.
Derek Murphy, that's my boy.
I've heard that name.
He's a preacher. He writes books. And he's been a substitute teacher. Somewhere here in town, he's an assistant principal now.
I know that name. It sounds familiar.
Super good guy, and very smart.
For sure.
And we talked about, we had an interesting conversation talking about, because I asked him, I said, well, what do you think about the stuff in the curriculum that you don't necessarily like agree with? Like, I asked him, is there things in there that you don't think that actually went down that way? And he was like 100%.
Yeah.
And we started talking about like Abraham Lincoln. And
I did the same thing. So in my classroom, you are required by state law to teach certain things.
Right.
Now, what I try to get my kids to do is to question everything. Being inquisitive. Like, find things out for yourself. Don't always take things at face value. And I pose different scenarios of different things. Like, I even give them my opinion of how I think things went down. Now, maybe it may go against what the book says, but
and we just tell them,
they can take my word.
Time for the test. You have to write this down.
Yeah. Yeah, but I tell them to take my word for it, or you take the book's word, or you can figure it out for yourself. And you need to teach people how to find things out for themselves, because kind of goes back to that AI stuff. You just believe whatever you hear.
Yeah, that's not not good.
No, you need to be able to learn how to look things up for yourself and research things, and you gotta. But also part of that's a want to too. You gotta want to kind of find things out for yourself instead of taking things.
When did you know you were like, okay, I want to really know about history? Because for me, I was like 27 before I just started like deep diving into history. It was like a later adult thing. Well,
it started out. I always knew I wanted to be a coach, so that came first. Because my grandpa was a superintendent, teacher, principal, coach at Bloomberg, and my grandma was an English teacher. And I always heard stories about people that would come up. We would see people around, and they would say like how much of an impact they had on their lives and all this kind of stuff. It's like I want to do that. And I already loved basketball. Played basketball my entire life. And so I was like, I want to be a coach. And because we're in rural East Texas, we've got to teach with that, if you don't go to a big school. And pretty much anywhere in Texas, really. And so I was like, let's do history. I like history. I liked history in school. And so I went to college, played basketball, and learned history.
Heck yeah. Where'd you play ball at?
East Texas Baptist University.
Yeah, okay.
Marshall. Played there for 4 years. Well, I guess 3.5 really. I quit halfway through my senior year to be a graduate assistant coach. Coach offered it to me. And I was like, yeah, if that's what I want to do in the future, it's probably better off for me than playing.
Yeah, get some coaching under you. Yeah, man, I don't know why, it took me a long time to be like, okay, maybe I should know a couple things.
Sure. I think it's one of the most important things to know, man.
Yeah, man, because there's people out there that say, I don't need to know when World War II was or what happened. It's like,
there's people out there don't even know where they live, man. I just know that from teaching. From teaching, there's folks that don't even know where they're at on the map. Yeah, that's sad.
That's scary.
It's sad, man.
I don't know. Because I don't know. I tend to think about stuff deep. And I feel like that things that happened 50 years ago are important, because if you don't know what happened 50 years ago, how could you prevent it from happening now?
All of it relates back to yourself, man.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about yourself, or you want to learn about where you came from, it all ties together. It's all one big chain link that ties back to you. If you want to know how you got to where you're at today, you learn about history. If you want to know why things are the way that they are today, you learn about history.
That makes sense.
I mean, it is all one big sequence of events. And so that's why I think it's interesting. And you always hear history repeats itself. People think it's a cliche term, but no, dude, it's real.
No, it's real.
And you see it all the time.
Man, I went down the World War II rabbit hole recently.
Yeah, dude.
Which was a lot of fun. It's a terrible time.
I love World War II movies.
Yeah, World War II movies.
I would hate to go to war.
Yeah,
I would do terrible in war.
Man, when I graduated from Fort Benning, when I was in the Army, we went to this big infantry museum, and it was specifically for like infantry soldiers, and they had all these like different monuments, and like we went through this room, like you walk down this hallway, and on the walls they're showing like clips of World War II, like D-Day and all this stuff, and they had like life-size stuff of it, and it was just like it was really cool. But people have done like you don't want to be in a war.
No.
That's the main thing I've been learning, especially recently. Like,
that's what people. I mean, that's why I didn't get when the whole zombie apocalypse thing was coming out. They were like, "Oh yeah, I can't. I hope the zombie apocalypse happens because I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna pop off on these zombies." Like, dude, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna die, dude. It's just like the same thing with war, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I couldn't have done what you did, dude. I didn't have the guts to do what you did. And do you think that being in the Army affected your interest for history?
Yeah, that definitely played a part. Like I said, that was one of the first sparks. Like seeing this museum, and it's like, oh man, like these are like the problem. The problem with the military connection to history is that the more I get into it, the more I kind of get sad.
Yeah,
and the more I kind of wonder about all the people that have died for maybe something stupid.
Sure,
and that's where I get sad because like if you think about Iraq, if you think about different, there's a lot of.
Why are we really over there?
Yeah, and so that makes me sad because if I would have been put in some type of situation where I lost my life at that moment, it would have just been about like let's protect my boys. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of and you know you do have some patriotism, like we got to protect our country. But if it's some old corrupt ass white dude that's beefing with some other old dude,
and
across,
it's on you. It's on you to go over there and fix it.
Yeah. So what I always say on this podcast and what we've talked a lot about when this come up is like one concept that keeps coming up in my head, and it is like whoever they want me to kill. More than likely, if I could sit down with this person and we just ate a meal together, we would not want to kill each other.
No.
It's like, so then I'm just killing somebody because they fucking
told you to.
Yeah. And I don't like that. And so, you know, and I don't, that's where military and history kind of bum me out. But like at the same time, there's been, I'm not sure, like America, some people say we're the good guys. Some people think we're the bad guys. A lot of other countries think we're assholes.
Sure. Vice versa.
And vice versa. Yeah. Sure. We think a lot of countries are assholes. Sure. And so it's like a lot of it's perspective. A lot of it's just random luck as far as you woke up one day born and you just happen to be in America. So now you got all this pride for America.
Sure. But at the end of the day, you're just the same as everybody else.
Yeah. I
mean, I don't think anybody I say that. I don't think any sane person wants to kill anybody.
No, I've met a couple.
Well, I said sane.
Yeah,
people.
Okay, yeah, they were insane, but these were like the people that you would want on your team, though.
Sure, yeah.
If shit popped off,
you'd be a little crazy. Yeah, you gotta be a little crazy.
Yeah, I met some, especially like some of these like combat drill sergeants that were over us like at first, and they were really trying to break us at the beginning, and they were. I mean, they had killed people. It's different. Like you go through your life, you may not meet somebody that killed somebody.
Did you ever see any action like that? Mm-hmm.
Very lucky, very blessed.
Yeah, for sure. No, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No. The did combat training, but never did combat. So
good for you, man.
Awesome, because I would be devastated too. In hindsight, I think, and that's what a lot of people have to. Man, there's got to be so many. You know, when veterans come home, like deploying and like actually seeing shit, it's got to be. You know, because then they may get on the news and they may see, or maybe not in the news yet. Not the news, but they may go research for themselves and figure out why. Like, imagine going over there, doing what you had to do, coming home and realizing maybe what you were over there for, and then that not really agreeing with how you believe about things.
Yeah.
That would be insanely
like how Vietnam was back in the day.
Yeah, they say Vietnam was stupid, like the whole deal. Like North Korea was started by like the war over there was started. The Korean War was started off of like something that was fake.
Yeah, we didn't have any business being over there and all this kind of stuff. We're trying to save some people from stuff that wasn't even our problem, and had thousands of people die just because we were getting in other people's business.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just.
But as the United States of America, do you feel like we have an obligation to kind of be in that savior role just because we're so powerful? What do you think?
It's a tough one. Because, we have, even Biden was talking about it the other night, the debate. He was like, well, we have this, they attack one of us, they attack all of us.
Sure.
Mind state. The problem is I think we get involved in stuff sometimes that just, like you said earlier, we just don't got no damn business being in.
Like the Ukraine stuff.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
Now, not saying that, I don't want anything to escalate over there or anything, but like, I feel like we got to solve some stuff over here, what we got going on over here before we start.
Yeah, but we've said like $200 billion over there, and we have a homeless crisis and a border crisis and we got our own crisis.
We could use that $200 billion somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. So, we have this two-party system. I think a lot of it does come back to this. There's two prevailing thoughts basically about almost every issue now because there's two parties.
Right.
And so a lot of times you either find yourself here or you find yourself here. Russia, Ukraine, a lot of people on one side say, but we probably shouldn't have that war. We need to focus on us. The other side says, well, if Russia pushes through Ukraine and starts going to maybe like Poland or something, and then now we got a big problem there. So it's like a lot of it is two political opinions about what Russia might do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to learning your history.
Yeah.
George Washington, the founding fathers never intended on us having a two-party system. George Washington warned about having a two-party system and warned about us getting in other people's foreign affairs. And what we obviously are doing that now. And you see where that's gotten us. So I think he was a super wise man, but that goes back to learning your history.
Yeah, somebody was saying the other day, we don't need to redo the Constitution. We just need to get more back to it, how it was intended.
How it was intended, sure.
Yeah. But things have changed, so that's another argument.
Things have changed, for sure.
How can we...
Things change, but that's why you have amendments.
Right, yeah. But...
I don't think you should have a two-party system. I think that's broken. I think you should have a one-party system with differing viewpoints.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessarily, they might not even be possible. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know that there's the two parties to be like, okay, well, we had 4 years of so-and-so, or we had 8 years. Okay, it didn't work. We need something radically different to do this. And,
sure.
And so they say, okay, well.
But then you have a divided house and...
which doesn't make any sense at all when I think about it. I'm more so when that, I don't know. For years and years, I was scared to even look into politics because I was scared.
I hate talking politics. I won't talk politics with anybody.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to change anybody's mind.
Right. I'm more of I think I would fall under the middle guy, like a libertarian almost. Because it's I don't know. I haven't dove into either one of their because people tend to get in clubs.
Yeah.
And so when I look at politics in general, it's normally from what feels like outside of both parties. And it normally is just we believe different than them. We believe different than them. And that just doesn't seem like how you get anything done.
I'm almost to the point now. I lean right, obviously. And I'm almost to the point where I'm in the middle to where besides my Christian ideology, my Christian religion and my beliefs on that. Besides that, I feel almost like I don't care about a lot of things.
Right.
I'm a pretty easygoing kind of guy. As long as you're not hurting somebody else, go do your thing. Okay.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, go do your thing. And then my Christian faith comes into terms where hey, maybe we shouldn't do this and that. Maybe I don't think you should force religion on anybody by any means.
Right.
But I have my own thoughts about abortion and other things like that.
Which is you can.
Yeah.
Because this is America.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. So
right. And you have a choice. You have a vote on that, and I think we should have a strong stance on that personally. Because that's something that I care about, but others may not, and that's why we get a vote. So
yeah, and then to not get too deep into it, I just I get sad. I think when I look at it, and so I avoided it for a long time. Yeah. Then I got more informed in my own ways of researching it, and got sad from it.
Well, history's sad. There's a lot of tragedy in history.
Yeah. I think like, history also made me think about politics more than I thought I wanted to.
This ain't heaven for a reason. You know?
Yeah.
This ain't a perfect world.
So like, where are you at with like you said that you don't think they should force Christianity? Where, like, you know, we have freedom of religion in the United States, but where are you at when people say, well, we need, you know, isn't there some big drama about the 10 Commandments being posted in a school or something somewhere right now? I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, we are technically one nation under God. Now, God isn't defined in the Constitution, technically.
Do you think that Christianity should get that spot on the wall, or if you have the 10 Commandments on the wall, does that mean that there needs to be the other ones on the wall? That's my question.
That's a great question, dude. That's difficult to say. I'm not going to say that. Like I said, you shouldn't force religion on anybody, because that's if you want, because the goal of Christianity is to lead others to Christ.
Right.
That way that they're saved and can feel the same love you do and the same forgiveness that you do from a loving God who created you, right? And forcing that on somebody is not going to make somebody want to join not going to make somebody want to know God, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with anything else. If your mom comes up to you and be like, you need to clean the dishes right now. Does that make you want to do it? No.
Yeah.
No, don't make you want to do it. Like, hey, can you clean the dishes today? Yeah, I'll get it done. Right? Or this is why you should wash dishes, whatever. Anyway, that might be a terrible analogy, but
no, that makes sense. You can't.
But you could give it to them in a loving way, man. Like, tell them how it changed your life. Tell them give them reasons why you should be a Christian. Why should you follow God, and why He cares about you personally? He has a personal connection with you, and it's up to them whether they choose to believe it or not. And it's not your job to force it on anybody.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people are getting in trouble, even in schools, are forcing that. Now, I think that teachers, should be an example of, if you're a Christian teacher, you should be an example to your students.
Yeah, but what if you're of a different religion and a teacher?
Then you should
be an example.
Sure, if that's what you believe.
Right.
But if you're a different religion, you shouldn't force that different religion on people.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So you're saying don't force no religion.
in a basic term, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now whether it's if you have your 10 Commandments on your wall, that's your own thing, man.
Yeah. Do you think do you think that helps any, though, to have the 10 Commandments on the wall?
Yes, in a way, because if that's your religion, that's your religion. And you as a teacher are allowed to put anything on the wall that you want to, as long as it's not hateful or anything like that.
Well, what about, I don't know, stop me if I'm getting too, because I just follow the thought process in my mind.
Yeah, you're good.
That should not have no gods before me is a part of the 10 Commandments. So what if somebody in the class had a different view of God? Wouldn't that be opposing, though?
Just say it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah. It does. Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't apply to you.
You know what a technicality.
It doesn't apply to you, man.
Yeah. But don't let me go. I just get to asking.
I mean,
questions.
you see teachers. You probably had a teacher in school had a cross on their desk or something like that, or had a cross on a shelf or something like that. It's the same thing. 10 Commandments are a way of living. If you're a Christian, that's the way you live, and the majority of people in the United States are Christian people, or identify as Christian people. Doesn't mean they're necessarily Christian people.
Yeah.
But thank goodness in rural East Texas, you don't really have to deal with that a whole lot. You're in the Bible Belt, and but it can definitely be tough. It can definitely be tough, and the Bible never said it was easy.
Yeah.
The Bible never said it was easy. just because you believe in God doesn't mean you're going to have an easy life or going to have a perfect life. In fact, it tells you the opposite.
Yeah.
So
several examples of people in the Bible that had terrible lives.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. They not have a good time.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Does your faith work its way into the music?
Yes. I try not to write a lot of songs that have a lot to do with immoral stuff. Like I don't cuss in any of my songs.
Yeah.
I try not to cuss in general.
My bad for cussing.
No, you good. Dude, like I said, do what you want to do. I'm an easygoing dude. You can do what you want to do. That doesn't mean I haven't cussed before. I definitely cussed before.
I just love the F word, dude.
Man.
Like I love that thing, but I be trying not to.
Dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm as guilty as anybody.
Well, let's talk about it though. So, tell me why. My bad. I've gone way off.
No, you're good. This is what podcast is, baby.
Yeah. This is definitely.
Like
I've had this talk several times. Like I said, I like to cuss. It feels good.
Sure. Frustration out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Way even just emphasis.
Sure.
I feel like it really puts some.
Kind of helps you convey what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And so. Okay, so like the term's curse word. Okay, do you think these words are cursed?
Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know. I think that anything that can be taken offensively. Now that's a broad term nowadays.
I'm about to say, my eyes lit up as soon as you said offensively.
Because people get offended by it. I also think it's a choice to be offended.
Yep, 100%.
It's your choice to be offended.
Yeah.
If you choose not to be offended, then you're not offended. You don't have to be offended.
I haven't been offended in years.
No, I haven't either. Well, we were also straight white men as well. But beside the point.
Or maybe.
Beside the point. I do think it's a choice to be offended. And I feel like a lot of people are taking that way out of proportion.
Yeah.
I think you need to grow a pair and quit being such a baby. Yeah. But that's just me. That might have ruffled some feathers right there. That might offend people right there.
Yeah. But, I'm more of a, let's be tougher about some stuff. But
yeah, for sure, dude. But
anyways, cuss words.
Anyway, so cuss words. I'm ADHD, if you can tell.
Oh, same.
And this might not have been a good idea. But man, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I think you can make anything a cuss word and be offended by anything.
So you think it's more about
I don't think
your
you should
heart
go out
behind it?
For sure.
That's what I think.
For sure. I think that has a lot to do with it. Now, I wouldn't go out spouting cuss words in like a school or nothing.
Right, because there's rules.
There's rules set in place.
So that sounds more to me like a social thing or a cultural rule.
Could be.
More than this is a bad word. That's not really a bad word. That's just a word that somebody decided we wasn't going to say around other respectable adults.
Right.
Or in front of kids.
Sure. Yeah.
If I say I effing love you and I mean and I say the F word.
I wouldn't be offended at all. And
if I said I freaking hate you, what happens there? Definitely love would still be better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the example that always comes that I always.
That's a good way to put it, I think.
Because I've definitely been known to when I'm really showing love.
Yeah,
how you do.
But then I'm also in the same point as if somebody doesn't like hearing that, I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, I know. I normally can tell when people don't cuss, and I'll be like,
yeah, sure. Like in my house, we don't cuss in my house.
Yeah,
and totally understand. Now, if I'm with my boys or something, sometimes I just let it fly. To be honest with you,
let her fly.
Sometimes just let it fly.
Let her fly.
And it's just a different dynamic, and not that I would never say it with any ill intent or anything like that.
Right.
Ever. I'm not that kind of person. And
I might.
That's fine. That's you, Joe. And,
no, I'm a pretty peaceful guy. I don't know.
I don't like to get into any kind of conflict or anything. I'm very non-confrontational.
Dude. Oh yeah, I got all that stuff out when I was young.
I think it's taking the high road, man. I think that's part of growing up.
Yeah.
I think I try to avoid confrontation. I think people mistake that for being a wuss or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's a strong position.
If you also learning to shut your mouth when you think that it's not going to help a situation.
Oh yeah, I'm a big advocate on shutting the F up. See,
dude,
look at it.
And there you go. And but like if you're in an argument with somebody and you really want to just get back at them or something, if you think to yourself, man, like, is this going to really help the situation? Is this going to hurt it more?
Most of the time, not.
Yeah, right. Just shut up.
I always think about like internet arguments.
Swallow your pride, man. Swallow your pride.
An internet argument is. So that's got to be the most.
I had a buddy of mine used to be all into Facebook arguments, dude. He used to love to tear people up on political posts and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, this isn't. I feel like I really just felt like he enjoyed doing it. Like I think he just like round people up.
Yeah.
So.
I just anytime I've ever even thought about getting engaged, I'm like, I always think like, what's the outcome here?
I just scroll.
Let's say I own them. Let's say I had some points that just crushed them. I don't think anybody.
Would that make you feel better about yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, would they be like, you know what? I think he's right.
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would never talk politics with anybody, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to change anybody's mind about something like that, and they're set. A lot of people are just set in their ways, and if you do, you'd be more likely to change their mind by just talking to them peacefully about it.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
goes back to spreading your religion too.
Yeah, just. I mean, if you just spread peacefully, that is. I think that's a good move. I don't know. I've been learning how to. Especially I've been learning how to have differing opinions and like, especially on the podcast, doing this, talking to all different type of people from different walks, different places.
You ever had things get a little heated?
No, because I don't know. I think I'm good at asking stuff a certain way.
Sure, yeah.
Because I probe all the time.
Yeah, be open. I think it's good to probe. That sounded weird.
You heard it here first.
Got that one. He said, I think it's good to ask those questions though, and truly get to know somebody, especially being a host like that. That makes the show interesting.
Yeah, because people. I don't know. First of all, any belief you have needs to hold water. No way. Like you need to be able to
really believe it.
Yeah. So if I can just ask you a question and you just be like, "What the heck?" Yeah, then that's automatically makes me weary of what you believe anyway.
That ain't watertight.
And so I don't know. I've just I don't know. Even when I disagree with somebody, I think I've just been wording it kind of right, and so it's been cool.
Yeah.
Because you should be like me and you should be able to disagree.
Yeah.
And this is a time where it seems like you can't really disagree.
Oh, I mean, shoot.
At least socially, it seems like, okay, well.
Talking about just in general in the world right now?
Yeah, in the world right now, it's like if you don't believe, like let's say me and you had a different stance on abortion.
That's fine, dude.
Like it made, like in a lot of instances, I think that may be like some let's throw down type stuff almost.
It shouldn't be, dude. I think that goes to growing up, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to believe the same thing I believe and us hate each other. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Like you didn't grow up the way I grew up. I didn't grow up the way you grew up. You didn't experience the same life things that I did. And I didn't experience the same things in life that you did. You've been through different situations. I've been through different situations. We see things differently. That doesn't mean that we're always going to agree on everything. Just like with somebody you marry. I think I see a lot of marriages blow up just because of arguments all the time. They don't talk to one another. They don't communicate. You're not going to see the same sides of things as one another.
Man, I know that's right.
And like grow up and swallow your pride and understand each other's side of things. Like I don't have to agree with what you believe, but if I can kind of see if you can explain it to me. Right. And I can explain to you my side without arguments happening.
Yeah, then you kind of just respect each other.
Yeah, respect.
Okay, yeah.
You believe what you believe, and this is why you believe it, and that's why I believe it. And we shake hands and go on.
Yeah, that's powerful. I don't know, man. It's just a new time. It feels new.
Yeah. It feels new, but it's been going on, man.
Yeah.
It's been going on for forever.
I don't know if it's like maybe just the internet opened us up
for
to
sure.
it. Yeah.
For sure. And this whole woke stuff that's been going on. Yeah. You know, and it even going back to music, it's even going on in music, man. Like you see people get canceled all the time.
Yeah, but there's been it seems like it's swinging back the other way. People are less scared of getting canceled now than they were like 2 years ago.
Well, it's the ebbs and flows, man. It's history for you.
Yeah,
going back to all this is tying together, dude, really nicely.
Definitely.
It's it ebbs and flows. Same thing with that old country music coming back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It
makes sense.
It's ebbing and flowing, and I was talking with my buddies at lunch, and You might see that Texas swing come back into things nowadays. If you know, Texas swing music was big back in like the 50s and 60s and stuff like that.
I guess I don't know.
Like your Johnny Bushes and your shoot, dude. You might need to trim this.
I guess I don't know.
Bob Wills and stuff like that. But
no, I don't know.
Anyway, there's a bunch of others, Hank Thompson and stuff like that. Yeah. But
you think that type of? I think it happens to everything. Clothes, fashion.
Oh yeah, dude. You see like 90s stuff coming back heavy. 90s, 80s stuff coming back heavy, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I love it.
Do you think? Here's a wild question. I know we need to start rounding it down, but here's a wild question. Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about music and writing and just creating music. And you were saying that music was, you said that you thought music was created by God, as a gift from God. And I was just thinking about how, like, even in the Old Testament and stuff, that there's a lot of mentions of music and stuff. So it's like, how are we still creating new stuff, like, after thousands and thousands of years?
How are we not creating the same old songs all the time?
Yeah.
I think about that all the time. Like, you kind of see it sometimes with, you see a lot of songs sound the same.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think as times change, you have new things to sing about. You have new things to write about.
Yeah, but the song, like
how they sound.
How we found it, finding new sounds, like if you played something from like the 1200s, and you played like.
Well, think about this. A lot of songs have the same exact chords in them.
I've seen them go through country songs, especially like the 102.5 country songs. Oh,
we do some stuff in our show. We do a thing in our show. We do a little gospel melody in our show sometimes, where we do like 3 or 4 different gospel songs in a row, just with the same chords. Especially when we're playing like. I played some stuff for East Texas Baptist University for different, like, they're a Christian university, and they'll have us out for an event sometimes. And we'll throw in a little, I call it a gospel medley or whatever. And it's just, we had 3 or 4 gospel songs in a row. And it's just the same chord progression over and over and over. And there's a ton of songs like that. I've seen a video with Ed Sheeran do the same thing. A bunch of different songs, dude. Like, and it is the same song, basically. It's just different wordings and a different tempo, a different rhythm sometimes. But essentially, it is the same melody.
That makes sense.
A lot of songs that are like that.
A lot of time passing.
For sure, no.
It's crazy that people are still creative. But then there was also...
It's kind of wild, though.
I thought about that before. Technology side, though, has got to be helping, though, too.
Yeah.
Like being able to create drums on them.
That's crazy,
on a laptop.
I'm not a big proponent of that, personally.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's, I don't know. Why do that when you can have a person do it? But that's just me. And some people might not have access to that. Some people might not have access or the facility to accommodate a drummer.
But it is a different sound, though, right?
Yeah.
Like we were saying with Morgan Wallen, you could tell that's...
Yeah, man. You can tell.
That's not a real drummer.
And I think that gives a human aspect to music, too. That's why I like a lot of live music better than I like studio recorded music. There's a human element to it. That's why I like bands like the Rolling Stones and like the Band, They sound like... I was talking to my guitar player about this. They sound like just some dudes who got together in the studio and just started jamming. That's what they sound like. You listen to the Rolling Stones, that's what they sound like. They're not a polished sound at all. And I love that, dude. I think it's cool. It's genuine. It's unique. It feels like genuine music.
That's the one, man. I hate to go back to AI, but I'm just curious. Like, I wonder how long it'll be before it can make it. Like, it can make a song that made you feel like it was just some bros in a garage.
Ain't no telling, dude. I think we need to stop with all the AI stuff, dude. Like, I think we need to not stop talking about it, but like stop like using it, advancing upon it.
Yeah, but
I don't see a whole lot of pros to it, just personally. And if somebody can enlighten me on that, feel free to.
Well, there's lots of pros. I think that they could. I think that they could solve medical stuff that we.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that they could.
Yeah.
I think there's even a possibility that maybe the AI could show us some type of maybe even political something that we never thought of before.
Maybe so.
I don't know. I don't think we should have AI president, but I'm just saying it could figure out, just certain things that it could solve by taking all the greatest minds and all the papers and all the things and, because in a way it could analyze it in a way. Because okay, so I'm big into Joe Rogan, and he has lots of scientists on there.
Sure.
And I've done figured out about you have these you have these guys that are kind of out there with their beliefs, and then you have guys that are we're the mainstream physicists, or you have I'm an archaeologist, and then you have that's kind of out there with some of my stuff, and then there's your mainstream archaeology. So my point is that in the academic world, it seems like there's more that goes into it than ideas just being gathered. There's politics. There's money there's funding. There's egos. There's all type of stuff at play when you take AI. Maybe that just analyzes all these papers,
kind of like the facts,
and maybe able to see something at face value where these guys and girls that are putting their brains together are also hopping over all these social hurdles.
Sure,
you see what I'm saying?
Sure, but how long until AI is filtered or censored into a certain agenda?
Well, it depends on who's building it. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
but I think there's different people building it. There's different angles,
really?
which is I think is good.
Yeah,
Elon's got Gronk, which is not going to be, what I'm saying, like Meta AI. That those two are going to be different because
I guess I always think of AI as one sole thing.
No, there's different brands.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. There's different American brands, and then we're in a race that almost feels like an arms race with China.
Okay,
and that's why America can't stop messing with AI. We cannot do it. If we quit and China gets better at AI, they will obliterate us.
Sure. Okay, so it's almost like a necessity.
It is a necessity. We can't stop because they might not stop. It's the same thing with troops. We can't you know what I'm saying? We can't stop doing war.
It goes down to morality almost.
Yeah, but people aren't going to stop warring. We can't not have an army.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so, people got nukes. We have to have nukes. Or we have nukes, so other people got nukes.
Technically, we're not supposed to have nukes. Technically, we're not supposed to.
Yeah, but you see how
that's the Geneva Convention, but
no, that's everybody's
history.
Yeah, everybody's working on that. But so
under the table.
Yeah. So, man, where am I? So we're basically in a race. We can't slow down. But in America, there are different brands, thankfully, which could be some in itself kind of checks and balances because Zuckerberg himself, Mark Zuckerberg,
need to have competition. You need to have competition.
And
with
he has different beliefs than just Elon.
Yeah.
And so then, but here's the main players for AI. You got Google Gemini. You see I saw commercials on TV this weekend when I was watching WNBA. They had the new commercial for Gemini. Hey, I'm Gemini. That's their deal. When you go to if you Google something right now, the first thing that's going to pop up now is Gemini's answer. And then you scroll down and see what you used to see, Google's answer.
Yeah.
So that's a way, if you get on Facebook and you use your search bar, it's Meta AI search bar now.
Right, yeah. I can't stand that thing, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people can't.
It's really annoying.
If you go to a post that has a lot of comments on it, Meta AI is making a summary of those posts. Some users are saying this, and most users are saying this. A few users are saying this. It'll give you a paragraph and tell you kind of what people are commenting. So it's summarizing what people are commenting on posts that have lots of deals. I finally got one the other day. Shout out to Joe.
Nice, dude.
I just asked a simple question. I was like, "What's more divisive than politics?" I knew a bunch of people comment.
Yeah.
So tons of people commented stuff. And so I got my own little Meta AI deal.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah. So I guess that, I don't know if that's worth bragging about. But anyways.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about that world, man. I've stayed away from it. I don't know. I'm not a big technology guy. My brother handles a lot of stuff like that for me. I do my own social media stuff, but I even can't stand that with the whole algorithms and all that kind of stuff. I can't stand.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
I think you should be able to follow people and see everything they post.
That ain't how it works.
I know. I think it's crazy. I follow them for a reason. Why am I never seeing this person's post?
Yeah. You're getting pushed. What's getting pushed to you?
I think that's so dumb. Yeah. I follow these people for a reason. Just let me see I want to see who I'm following. But
TikTok has a feature where it says your friends.
Yeah.
But that's Before you pay, like for example,
so it makes you have to work for people to see your stuff, even if they follow you.
And then it's a consistency thing, which I do see you post a lot, which is good.
I'm trying to.
You have to post.
But you don't want to post too much.
Is that a thing too? You don't want to
post too much, yeah. Because then you people get tired of seeing your content.
Huh.
So I want to post like, say if I post something, I won't post back to back.
Like how many times do you post a day though?
Once
on everything.
Once probably every other day. Every other day. Otherwise, it can get, I don't know. From what I've seen, that's what my numbers have done well on. And I think it's stupid that I track my own numbers, but I think that's the world we live in. But I'd rather just post something and be like, here's my stuff. But no, you got to.
Here you go, world.
You got to see how this post is going to do well. Post on this day at this time. That it's too much into it, dude. Just let me post what I want to post. And if you want to see it, you want to see it. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think that it just don't work like that.
It don't work
unfortunately.
Like that. I think it's dumb.
But no, I've seen you've had some social media success. I've had some here and there, and I get real consistent, and then not.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can only post so many clips.
You got to figure out what works best for you and your audience. And like I said, I think it's stupid. But
I'm working on Facebook right now because that seems to be where I'm getting the most traction. And
really?
I feel like I was spreading myself thin.
Have you been on TikTok?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's been, I don't know. I've had good moments.
I get the most stuff on TikTok, believe it or not. It used to be Instagram, but all my stuff is getting most love on TikTok.
My reach on Facebook is like getting there. Like sometimes like my monthly reach will be like 70,000.
I want to try to go live on TikTok, dude. That's how I've been getting a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Just set up a little phone camera over there on the side.
What do you do? Just talk?
Yeah, dude, just talk. Dude, I mean, just set it up right beside your camera right here and just go live and people will watch it. As we're talking, and then people that missed it can watch you upload. Yeah, watch the upload.
I might need to
I get a lot of my followers from TikTok Live. It's something to think about.
Yeah,
it's easy. I go live on all my shows.
Really,
all my shows I just set up a little phone camera. I bought me a little tripod. I set up a phone camera, and it'll just record as we're playing.
Is it pretty clear?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's better on acoustic shows.
Yeah.
Just because there's just so much noise on full band shows. Yeah. Like you've seen phone recordings of live music. Yeah. And it's not always like great, you know? Yeah, right? It's never great. And so a lot of times acoustic stuff will do better, but just because there's not as much craziness going on.
All right, last question. We'll bring it back down to something we both like. Basketball.
Yeah, man.
So was that your main sport?
Yes, yeah. I played basketball and baseball growing up. Baseball, I played baseball up until I didn't play my senior year. I had one huge fan of some guys on the team and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on basketball. Played football my senior year. Only time I played football besides 1 year Pee Wee. And dude, I was a little bitty growing up. I was like this big around, and I was just getting. First year I played, it was tackle. First year you could play tackle. And dude, I was getting lit up by these kids, dude. And I was like, I'm out. I can't do that. And so I played my senior year just because the coach asked me to. I was like, yeah, why not? You know, what am I? I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know. He said, coach comes in and is like, you're a Y. I'm like, what the heck is that, dude? Like, where am I going? And I was like, hey, what's a Y, y'all? And they tried to show me where to go. And I didn't know any of the plays. Yeah. And so I would go in. I blocked for a touchdown once. I was on the first row. I could always jump real high. Like I dunk and stuff like that. And so I was on the first row kickoff one time, kickoff return. And this dude kicked it kind of low. I reached up and grabbed it and laid down on it. I'm like, please don't hit me, dude. Please don't hit me. And and coach comes over. He's like, Bricker. I was like, yeah, what's up? He said, next time just let it go. I was like, all right, we'll do, coach. We'll do. And I blocked for our field goal kicker who was a buddy of mine. And that was the extent of my football career. And but played tennis my senior year too because my basketball coach was my tennis coach. And so I was like, why not? You know, I got like fourth in doubles in district.
Tennis is fun.
Tennis is fun, dude. It's a lot of work. Believe it or not.
It is.
And you been in pickleball?
I played a little. Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
kind of like tennis. But yeah, basketball was always my first love. My dad played basketball. He was a walk-on at Baylor and ended up making the practice team at Baylor, which is, I guess, is kind of something if you're a 6-foot white guy. And he came from a little 1A school. And anyway, so yeah, I played basketball from Pee Wee up until 4 years in college. And still hoop today.
Yeah.
So
I played today.
You can find me every Monday at First Baptist.
What time do they play?
6 o'clock.
6.
Yeah.
Oh dang! So I done.
So if y'all want to pull up First Baptist, you want to catch a bucket.
Y'all you missed that for this, huh?
No, they were. They're not doing it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 4th of July stuff. So.
Yeah.
I would have missed it anyway for you, man.
I appreciate that. We need to play though. I'll hit you up. I'll figure out your schedule and because I've been playing. Now some places are serious, some places ain't. Yeah. But if it's a situation where everyone's not a hooper, I normally dominate. But then if I get to a place where everybody's a hooper, then I, transition to a little role player.
I'll still hoop, man. I'll still hoop.
Set a screen, throw a pass. No, I've been working on my shooting. It's got significantly better.
Man, mine has kind of dropped a little bit, man. But when I'm in the game, dude, I don't think about it, and I start hitting.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to boost at all.
Can you still dunk?
Oh yeah.
How old are you? 27?
26.
Yeah.
I
was just trying to guess. I was trying to guess, sir.
Oh yeah, I can still dunk for sure. Easy.
I do all this stuff to try to
throw off the glass. I'll windmill.
Oh yeah,
I'm like that. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, easy now.
No, not to boost myself. I'm just saying.
No, that is good. That's
that was like what I was good at in college. I was like my thing. I was never like a great shooter, but I could rebound. I could jump. I could rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, I shoot okay. I'll shoot okay.
Yeah.
Like I can hit a shot when I need to. But I was never a great dribbler. I didn't have to dribble growing up because being 6'4" at a small Texas high school, you're gonna play post. No matter what. You're going to play center, power forward. You don't need to dribble.
Would you end up playing guard when you left?
No, I was in college playing post, dude, against these 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" dudes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
6'4" is not quite tall enough for that job.
No. And so, so when I started, I was undersized to start with. I mean, I only played that position because I could jump, and I got to where I was strong enough to bang in there. And pause. Anyway, I was able to hold my own a little bit and, got bigger, stronger, better.
So you never really played guard ever?
No, dude. I played I played a small shooting guard my 7th grade year, first year playing school basketball. And I was probably like 5'6" or something like that. And I could shoot a little bit in middle school. It got when I started growing in high school, my shooting went.
Yeah.
And but I finally got it back like my junior, senior year. I wasn't heavily recruited or anything like that. I was real skinny. I was this height, but I was like 175 in high school. I was
That's how much I weigh now.
Yeah, but I'm 6'4". And so I was a little bitty. And it wasn't until my sophomore year of college I finally put on some weight. Because coach was like, dude, if we're going to play you need to get to 200 at least.
So you just eat a bunch
at least. Dude, I ate 3 peanut butter and honey sandwiches a day for a snack in between meals. And like, dude, I had to put on that weight. I was in the weight room all the time. And I've lost a little bit of it now, but I'm trying to get back to it. I was at Redbone playing for my live album release show, and I dapped this dude up and gave him a hug. He was like, dude, you lost weight? I was like, yeah, I lost some weight. But I'm trying to get back to it, trying to get back where I'm
about 190,
195-ish.
Hey, my guessing has been on point.
Yeah,
dude, I've been kind of ballparking.
And I used to be 210. And so I'm trying to get back to it. I just haven't been eating as much. I haven't had time to get in the gym as much as I want to, even though it's summer break off of school. But trying to get back at it.
We need to go work out at Legends.
Let's do it.
Hit a workout together.
Let's do it, man.
I do a lot of body weight stuff though. I'm not like super strong, but I could do like 50 push-ups like right now, easy. So I don't know. It's different. Huh?
I said you won't. And no, let's do it though. I usually go. Nowadays, I usually go around like, I can really go anytime right now.
Yeah.
But I've been going like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I hit all my points for sure. Well, we do a little hour and a half. Yeah, that's easy. Easy work, man.
I can do this for forever.
Yeah, no, it really is
easy.
Not hard at all.
No. I can talk about whatever.
Ask a couple questions, and then you get people that can talk. And some of them are hard. Some of them like ask somebody something.
Feels a little more comfortable than I thought I would. Dude. I was a little nervous at first, dude.
Oh no,
I'm not a big talker. I'm really not.
You did good.
Believe it or not, after this, I don't know. But you had the talking points to kind of set me up. So if I start talking about something I care about, I'll start yapping.
But that's my job.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been learning. If you can get people to talk about what they love, then
I'll yap if I'm talking about something I love. But if it's just like talking about whatever, I'm kind of quiet. But
yeah. So plug your stuff real fast.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at lane.bricker. I've had a lot of fake accounts on TikTok, but I only have one TikTok account. It's Lane Bricker Music. Facebook is just Lane Bricker. Make sure you follow the page and not add me as a friend on Facebook because that's weird. No, you can add me as a friend on Facebook. I don't care, but I might not accept it.
Did I? I don't know which one I have of you.
So my music page on Facebook is my profile of my face with the American flag in the back.
Which one did I hit you up on?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I'll add you a friend if we're not friends already. And then my website's lanebricker.com. My old one is Lane Bricker Music. We don't use that one anymore. It's just lanebricker.com. You can see all my shows and stuff on there that I got coming up. Any tickets and stuff you need to buy. Merch is on there. You want to order it, we'll ship it to you. I'm trying to think of anything. My YouTube is it might be Lane Bricker Music, my YouTube. I don't post a lot. I need to post more on there.
YouTube?
Yeah, I don't post as much as I should on there. YouTube's kind of weird. It's kind of streaky.
Yeah, I've had some success in YouTube, but all with shorts. All my success on YouTube.
Mine too.
These hour-long videos, I get, anywhere from 50 to 500 views.
That's more
on
me,
these,
man.
So.
Yeah, I need to up my YouTube because a lot of venues look at YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But they look at my TikTok. My TikTok numbers are doing pretty decent. Not as good as a lot of people, but better than any of my other accounts.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, dude.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Hit the bell to let you know when new videos drop. I try to drop at least 2 interviews a week. So appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all have a blessed day.